All right. The next step in creating or finishing our 3D model is to create our roof, right? So before that, the topic learning outcomes for this tutorial is for you to be able to prepare the roof framework as a reference for developing an accurate 3D roof model, apply the UCS 3P or the 3-point user coordinate system command to establish a working plane that aligns with the roof slope, create polylines on inclined roof surfaces using the UCS 3P command to accurately define roof profiles and boundaries, and lastly, to extrude the polylines to transform roof profile into three-dimensional roof elements. So to start, we're going to first create the fascia board we have here. We can copy this, copy our roof plan, and then just delete first the roof ridges. And we're going to region these lines and extrude them to the depth of our roof. I mean fascia. So if our wall is here, then the depth would be here, or the height. Oops. Oh, I forgot. This is at the level of the floor, so that's why it's high like this. So we're just going to measure this so that we can extrude this as at the height of 250. So we're just going to Control Z this one, extrude this at 250. Right, Control Y. Extrude at 250. Right. So I'm going to use this one as my basis for the height of the fascia board. So I'm just going to color it differently, then go back to shade mode, and then realistic. I have now my fascia board. So if you're going to verify that, go to your front view or your left view. So we now have the height. So don't worry about this one. We're going to have that modeled in a separate video tutorial. So for now, we're just going to create the fascia board and then the roof. So going back to the isometric view, we're now going to do the framing or the frame of our roof. So the height of this ridge here will depend on the height on our elevation. So we're going to create a line from the top of the ridge to the top of our fascia board. Then we're going to move that as basis of our height of this frame. So if you're going to orbit this in 3D, it's flat. But if we're going to use this as our reference, we stretch the lines, we move this line, and then we stretch this line again. If we 3D orbit that, we now have a frame of our roof. So if we're going to check that on our front view, it's correct. On our right view, so we're going to create, for the meantime, we're going to create our roof on the ground level, and then we're going to move it. If it's done, we're going to move it here, right? So that we can snap our lines. And for this one, when you're going to create now the roof of our, I mean the extrusion. If you're going to extrude the roof, there are times that this works when you copy them and then you region them and extrude, they work. For instance, this doesn't work, right? So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to delete this, since we have our the basis of our height of the roof. We're going to command UCS 3P. For this one, we're going to not copy the lines that we're going to extrude, but create a polyline that we're going to extrude as our roofing sheets. So 3P, it's not there, but you can, I mean, when you command UCS, it's not going to appear as an option, but you can command 3 point or 3P and then click on the edges that's going to define your axis. I mean your UCS. I mean, so if you observe, we have X, Y, and Z at this coordinates at this alignment or direction. When you click on different points, 3P, it's anywhere you can click. It's going to our user coordinates or UCS, where it's going to change along. It depends. It will change in accordance with the alignment of wherever we have selected our points. So we're going to select 3 points. It's going to, for example, you can click it here on at the center and then click here as long as it defines the slope. So for this one, you're going now to create a polyline, and it's going to create based on that alignment. So from here, you can now extrude that. But we're going to create this side first. So this side is a different slope, so we're going to create another UCS 3P. So select, for example, you're going to select at the center, you can do that at the center and here, as long as it defines the slope. So you can polyline that, there, there, and there. So you now have a polyline. So you can go back. If you want to go back, you can command UCS and world or W. And then your UCS is now back to normal. So these lines here, I'm going to extrude them. Oh, just extrude them separately since they were created on a different plane. So I think the negative and positive are different. So I'm going to, for example, this is 10 millimeters, for example. So it's going to extrude at 10 millimeters. And then this one, 10. So we now have, I think it's negative 10. Okay, extrude to negative 10. Right? All right. So now we have our roof on these sides. We're just going to color them. And then we will go to the top. And since these are symmetrical, we're just going to mirror them. So enter, and then this one also mirror, enter. So we now have a complete roof. And that's the time we're going to move this roof. Right? So we now have the fascia and then the roof that were created, the roofing sheets that were created using the UCS 3P. So when you're going to orbit that 3DO, we have a complete model. So on the next video, I'm going to show you how to create the gutter and then the doorknob using sweep and revolve commands. Right? So there you have it. We have now a complete 3D house, and we're just going to create the details of our house. So see you on the next video. Bye.